Good morning and welcome. My name is Atlas, and uh, Raptor is here. Say hello.
Hello?
All right. um, so here we are, part 3 of continuing through Phil Dunphy's custom 2v2 Unmatched deck from me and Raptor's personal meta for custom Unmatched.
Um, Phil actually, you just kind of made my brain think this, but Phil actually, if you did give Phil a bit of a health buff, he's totally good into normal unmatched fighters, I think. More
That's,
so than some of our other fighters, just because he's a bit more normal.
yeah. Because you
Even
might
though
be
he's
viewing
not, but
this in a different setting. This is Phil Dunphy's stat card. I'm just gonna put it on screen. Pause if you want to read it. All right, I'm going back down to continue where we left off in part 2. Bewilderment. It's a 1 copy. Any 0 value defense card. It has a 1 boost value. During combat, ignore the opponent's value. After combat, move your fighter to any space. It's your average bewilderment, like Merlin and Sun Wukong have. Um,
one copy,
It's a 1 copy. Works well with his ability. So he could get card draw from it. Of course, the opponent then knows you have it, and they might be like, I don't want to do something too crazy. Might try to bait you, but then you can mind game their mind game. Anyway, good defense keeps Phil alive. You can use it on Luke if you want, if it's getting towards the late game. All right. The next card is called Passing of Time. It's a 2 copy, Luke only 3 value versatile with a 2 boost value. During combat, if there are no cards in your deck, this card's value is 8 instead. That is really good. The one problem is that it's on the 8 is attached to, well, empty deck, which means you're at exhaustion.
and it's a sidekick. That could be
Yeah.
good and bad because in a 2v2, if your hero dies, Luke's still there. They probably won't bother with Luke.
Yeah. And Luke is, although Luke is a 6 health sidekick, which makes him a little bit more fragile. But
And kids'
fortunately,
breakfast.
yeah, Luke is kind of risky to attack because he can always defend with Convincing Manny or Bewilderment and then just completely make you want to
I don't
cry.
I don't think you would use bewilderment on him though.
Well, you would if it's like late game and the opponent's starting to fear that you might try to hit them with the passing of time,
Yeah.
which an 8 is really good. Um, of course,
An
just
8 is good.
yeah, um, hard to trigger. Although you do have that so cool, but of course it's a 1 copy. Although you do have a 4 copy card coming up that's good for getting out of exhaustion or delaying the exhaustion game. Phil is actually quite good at eating his deck because he can just use his ability or insane card draw to go completely unga bunga mode and just through his deck and have 2 8s that he can smack you with and then try to build his deck back. You can do that with the next card. It's called Clive Bixby. It's a 4 copy, 3 value. It's a 4 copy card with a 3 value. It's a 3 value versatile. Fill only 3 boost value. After combat, all friendly fighters. Oh, okay, hold on. I gotta say the reworded version because this is actually kind of busted the way it's worded, and we have never played it like this before, or the way it's currently worded. So I'm gonna say it how it's intended. After combat, uh, all friendly heroes pick 1 card from their discard that can't bring back that can't also bring back cards from the discard, and put that card back into their deck. If Luke is alive, shuffle one card from your discard back into your deck. This is good for, well, your teammate because they can bring back like their crazy cards and just you can keep smacking. They could also bring back defense and stay alive. I find that I bring back defense if I'm trying to play the long game. If I'm trying to play the short game and I've played like Final Throw or Realtor with values, I want to bring those back, especially Final Throw for that
Or
1 health.
ambush.
Oh, Ambush is an amazing card to bring back as well. Um,
Maybe Awesome Land.
Awesome Land is situational. Like
But
if
that could still be 2 more health on Phil. That could be good because you got 4 Clive Bixby's.
that's
You're gonna
true,
play at least 2.
that's true, and bewilderment. That's another funny one to bring back because your opponent wants to cry.
Yeah.
Halo, if you want some more flexibility. Um, Clive Bixby, such a good card.
It also a lot of synergies.
Yeah,
There's just we always talk about like, "Oh, hey, Phil Dunphy and insert character's name here. You could bring back this." And sometimes we just like to talk about our meta a lot, talk about synergies a lot, so Clive Bixby comes up quite a bit just because it's like, "Oh, that's insane that this one character can bring back that cards that many times. Wow."
yeah.
You know?
Of course, then you have to draw that card, but being able to
It's
like play it more times than the deck might intend is really good. Um, of course, it is a fill only card. I typically use it on defense, just because
yeah.
there's less offensive cancels, unless you're fighting Luke, which is in this deck. Um, there can be offensive cancels like Demogorgon has one, Mama has a 2-copy one, and they can
That's a
play a
2 copy?
feint on offense. Yeah, it's a 2-copy.
Wow.
Yeah, just don't take the taffy. um, uh, where was I? I lost
Yeah,
all
sorry.
thought. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Um, so Clive Bixby, I play it most on defense, less likely to be canceled. Plus, if you're playing offense, they might think it's awesome land. That's so cool. Ambush, Claire, Realtor. I mean, less likely to be Claire. If it's first action, they might think it could be Halo. Or that was fun is always fun to play. Um, So best on defense, it's a 3 value defense or 3 value versatile, which means that on defense it's average, um, in terms of value. Um, Phil Dunphy, these are his stats. He has 18 unique cards. Um, uh,
Real quick, maybe look at his boost values. Because like passing with time or passing of time, that can be a good boost for the card because
because
um
late game is like that kind of a late game is not very common. Um,
yeah, getting that card sometimes get it early. Sometimes Dumpy Man actually, depending on who your opponents are,
yeah,
and also
depending on who
finding
your
a worthy
opponents are
opponent.
and like the state of the board.
Yeah, because Phil is 2 movement, so he will need to boost movement sometimes. So that's another good
Yeah,
use of the rock paper scissors card.
yeah, that's what I use
Yeah.
it for most. I would never boost with Clive Bixby unless
No.
it's gonna save your life. Um, like if Phil is going to die unless you boost with it, and you can boost with it. If it's the only card you have that can be used to boost, just because you know it's it's such a good effect, and teammates love this. They love this card. They eat it up. um, and just like the way that the game goes, you're not likely to get to exhaustion because it tends to end by the time you're about halfway through your deck. So cards like Planned All Along and Passing of Time don't often actually
Um,
pay out in the end.
no, I think it goes till about you have 10 cards in your deck.
Yeah, but
In our meta.
yeah, that's true. Or at least if like the character draws a lot of cards, like Dream doesn't draw a lot of cards. So
Maybe I just maneuver a lot. I don't know.
yeah, I mean there can be a bit of board positioning. Um, so Phil Dunphy, he's got a lot of medium synergies with everyone, just because he works well with everyone, but he doesn't have like he is busted with that fighter, just because uh just because he's good with everyone. He's a solid pick. Um, definitely nothing to scoff at. Um, of course, the 14 health can be a little bit fragile, but I think 14, 13,
Actually,
14 is our average, something like
Phil
that.
can be a bit of a tank
He
because of
can
those
be.
defense cards. So in a 2v2, depending